now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like, you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, go ahead, shoot me a quick take, 219-413-9405, and we will play your take back on our next episode. Man, and shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Go ahead, get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. This can only be applied for first-time users only on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but a little bit ago, man, I went to this Chris Brown concert. It was actually last week, man, and it was phenomenal, bro. It was sensational, bro. Amazing concert. Had to go ahead, create me an account, and then use that promo code, TheRunPodcast, and got in there, man. So, hey, baseball season is live. You better go check out some games or something. Go check something out. Oh, I know it's a bunch of people touring in the summer, at least definitely in Chicago it is. So, check those out. But look, man, we got a couple different things going on here. In the sports world, Frank Martin versus Gervonta Davis. That's about to be a hell of a fight this upcoming weekend. That happens tomorrow. I think it is tomorrow. Oh, no, this Saturday. Yep, it happens this Saturday. So the 15th is when we'll see Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis go toe-to-toe. And I think these guys are fairly evenly matched across the board in a lot of different categories. But besides the hit power and experience, man, that might be just enough for Gervonta Davis to win comfortably. And I say that because with experience, fighters are usually poised and they're great at adjusting to whatever is thrown at them. If something is making them uncomfortable, they know how to slip out and then just, adjust to different things that's going to make sure they can contain or contain their ground and stand their ground. So because of that, Gervonta Davis gives me hope with the experience. And then hit power is always a factor because most people are not going to take too many hits from somebody who's landing them and they're known as a big puncher. Gervonta Davis is known as a big puncher. He's a big hitter. And when he's landing punches, it's rare that many opponents are going to last. We've seen that with Ryan Garcia. We've seen it in plenty of other fights that he's fought in where all it takes is him to hit a person 3 or 4 times. Good shots, and it's over. And I think Frank Martin, he's really good. He's skilled, he's fast, he's quick, he has a good IQ. He has some experience under his belt, but he's just not up there with Gervonta Davis, and I think that's going to be the biggest factor here is because, yeah, he's all of those things, he's great, but when you take those hits, it's a wrap, man. You start to fold, your legs start to get weak, your body start to fail on you, your knees start to buckle a little bit, your vision start getting blurry, all of those things start happening. So, it's hard for me to just put that past Frank Martin, and I don't think he's fought a hitter like Gervonta Davis yet. Tank has fought plenty of other people, fought more than Frank Martin on a professional level, and because of that, he can adjust to whatever Frank Martin is throwing at him. So if Frank Martin comes out there and he's, very much aggressive in that first round and aggressive trying to set the tone, I'm sure it's probably going to rattle Gervonta Davis just for a quick second. It may throw him off, but that's where the experience sets in because as soon as he adjusts to what Frank Martin is doing, hit the combinations and the speed the patterns that he's throwing at him, I guarantee you Gervonta Davis is going to be able to pick him apart in a technical sense and find which way he's going to land that hard hit on him. I think I give it to probably about the 7th or 8th round until we really see Frank Martin start to fall down and buckle. I would love to see a good fight. I hope it's not a knockout. I want to see it go to distance because, what fun is it in seeing somebody get knocked out in the first 4 rounds? Like, only fun that is just for social media and Twitter when people make fun of it there. But other than that, no, man, we got to see a good fight here because Tank is a huge fighter. Obviously, we know what kind of name he is in the boxing world. And Frank Martin is one of those guys, too, that has a lot of power under his name. So, I'm glad they made the fight happen. I can't help but to think that Tank wouldn't have taken this fight if he thought Frank Martin was a serious threat. We see a lot now in today's boxing world that a lot of people are trying to go the Floyd Mayweather route. They want to be undefeated to say, oh, we're the best ever and I'm the greatest to ever fight and all of that. But they don't fight anybody in the process. They're not really fighting the baddest dudes out there. They're not really fighting the toughest boxers out there. So I'm glad they made this happen, but I still doubt that Gervonta Davis would have took this fight if he knew Frank Martin could really, really beat him. That's why he took the Ryan Garcia fight. That's why he took multiple fights throughout his career. We have yet to see one of the best boxers in the weight class. And I think Frank Martin is one of those best boxers in the weight class, but we've yet to see the huge names go at it. And we're just now beginning to see that in different weight classes. Thanks to the Haney and Ryan Garcia fight that recently happened. That was dope. I'm glad they made that happen. But above all, we haven't really seen that often. So many guys want to be undefeated. So I hope that changes, man. But ultimately, I got Tank winning this here, maybe in the late round. I'm going to go ninth round. Gervonta Tank Davis is going to win this fight. Don't be shocked though if Frank Martin does win though. That's not me calling Frank Martin on a win. I'm just saying he's a skilled fighter, so you can't completely put it past him to come out here and have some great adjustments as well, have some great combinations and all of that stuff too. So don't get it twisted. Frank Martin ain't no scrub. He's not a scrub. But I just think Tank, with the experience and the hit power, that's going to be the two things that really set him apart, because he'll be able to pick Frank Martin apart later on in the rounds. And then when those hits start to get real heavy on Frank Martin's body, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap. He's going to have to go in straight defense mode, might not be aggressive on the offensive end trying to attack Gervonta Davis. So I think that's how it's going to pan out. Anyway, look, man, so the Boston Celtics, quick side note here, they're up on the Mavs 3-0. But we haven't really seen a crazy dominant performance yet out of the Boston Celtics and Dallas Mavericks series. Obviously, Luka has been putting up his numbers. The other day, we seen Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown put up 30 points together. That was actually a great performance. But, above all, we haven't really seen that type of historical type of NBA Finals performance. So I'm just curious, bro. Let's kind of review really quick of the craziest finals performances that we've seen over the years, within the past 20 years or so, who knows. But I just had some thoughts on this, because most people are saying these are a boring finals, especially if you're not a Celtics fan. This is for sure one of the more boring finals. It's not really competitive every single game. Celtics got full control, all of that. But look, man, the crazy finals that I remember, obviously I got to start off with the 2016 Cavs and Warriors, bro, because this was insane, man. We seen Bron come back from a 3-1 lead, and I know this is still bringing up old scars for some of y'all out here, but how could I not bring this up? I'm talking about great finals performances, bro. In Game 7, Bron put up 41, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and Cavs were just dominant all around, bro. They led 31-11 after the first quarter. It was a run. They led 31-11 after the first quarter, and they ended up winning by 15 points. So that was strike one right there. That was just a dominant performance, one for the ages, man. And I'm glad they gave us something to remember in that NBA Finals. We really literally witnessed history watching Bron come back from 3-1. And I could go on and on about that series and how great it was. But of course, I got some more performances that happened too, because Bron, he didn't have the only great dominant game in that series. And in the playoffs of this decade and all of that stuff in the finals, I got to go to San Antonio, because them boys was balling against the New Jersey Nets at the time. Man, Tim Duncan, he ate good in Game 5 against the New Jersey Nets, bro. I don't know if you remember, but I'm about to inform you. Tim Duncan had 32 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 blocks, and 3 steals. Tim Duncan was crazy in that Game 5. And then what's insane is Game 6, he had a similar dominant game, because he put up 21 points and 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 8 blocks. And that won him that Finals MVP. Best believe that. But that was a crazy ass performance. That was a crazy series in 2003 with the Spurs. Timmy D just went off. And above all, personally, I think this is why some people say Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward ever, despite Kevin Garnett being personally who I think has more skill. That's another debate for a different day. Not even more skill, but it's just, I always felt like Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan were neck and neck. So this performance here in Game 5 and Game 6, this finals, I should say, against the New Jersey Nets just really showed how dominant Tim Duncan was and how great of a player he was. And it woke a lot of people up because people ain't see it coming, but man, that's a hell of a performance. 32 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 blocks. And then to capitalize the next game and put up another 20-20 game with 10 assists and 8 blocks. Like, if that ain't David Robinson type of numbers, I don't know what is, man. Anyway, look, I'm going to leave y'all with this one because there's another performance. It's more recent. And this is why I think we see the unleashed Boston Celtics that we see this year. And I'll touch on the Boston Celtics some more later in the episode because they still got Game 4 to play. And I think it's a wrap. Anyway, that's the side note. But Steph Curry against the Boston Celtics in Game 4 in 2022, this was insane. Steph erupted for 43 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists while shooting above 50%. And this gave the Warriors a 2-2 tie. And eventually the Warriors won the next 2 games in both locations, and that was it. But Steph had complete control over this game. I remember watching, and it was just amazing to watch a guy who's 6'2", 6'1", whatever the hell height he is, watching a point guard control the game in ways that I've only seen small forwards and power forwards do. It was crazy to see someone this small dominate on that level in ways that we've seen LeBron control the game. Not to compare the two, whatever, but in ways we've seen Kobe control the game. In ways we've seen KD control the game. Dirk Nowitzki. Like, those guys have a height advantage, so they can grab rebounds. But for Steph to be 6'2", put up 43 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists, that was just insane. And then we got one of the best trash talking times ever because apparently after Game 3, when the Celtics won, Steph Curry looked at the bench and he told the Celtics, enjoy y'all last win. And that was it. That was history right there because the Warriors went on to win 3 straight after that. And that was it. That was the end of the series, bro. So, I mean, that was a hell of a performance there. Anyway, look, man, there's plenty of more performances that I could have touched on, but I'm not going to keep y'all here all day. Maybe one day I will just do an episode like that because, we're about to kind of creep up on that slow section in sports. We're about to creep up on the slow section. And we'll talk about some of the Celtics teams, but that's why the Celtics are dominant like they are now, because of Steph Curry. Steph Curry unleashed the belt on them boys and got the pop, 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 pop. Like, Steph Curry did them boys wrong, dog. So I think the Celtics didn't like that. That was the end of Ime Udoka as well. And they didn't like that. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, that's why they so focused and locked in right now. Anyway, look, man, hey, shoot me a quick take. 219-413-9405. Leave a quick voicemail message on our voicemail line. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. That number again is 219-413-9405. We got some more stuff coming up, man. News for the run, some NFL news. And then also, too, we got to touch on the Boston Celtics and why everybody is blaming Luka Doncic for the reason that the Mavs are down 0-3. That's just weird. But we'll touch on that in just a second. Anyway, it's halftime. We'll be right back. All right, we've entered the time of the episode where I usually just go ahead and share some thoughts about how my week has been, how the days have been lately. If this is your first time listening, I don't want to catch you too off guard, so I want to throw a heads up, man, and this is that section. So usually it doesn't happen every single episode. Not even every other episode, honestly. It's just kind of like a sneak peek whenever it may happen. So this just so happens to be an episode where I'm going to go ahead, recover, and take a quick break and just tell y'all about my week, man. So seriously, I did go to the Chris Brown concert, and that shit was phenomenal, bro. Like, real talk, bro. Chris Brown concert was amazing, man, and I loved it. I seen some things. That was actually my first concert, and like, I seen some things, bro. I've never seen at performances festivals, but the man was flying from the rafters. It was crazy, bro. And like, he was really doing all the dance moves you see in his videos and singing, hitting every single note, bro. Like, it was phenomenal in the sense that he was able to sound the same way that he does when you hear his songs, and also still able to dance and do all the moves, like, and executing the moves. And like, it was just crazy, bro. It was crazy. So I love that, man. What else has been going on? I know summertime is really, really here. I've been trying to plan a trip for summer. I was supposed to go for my birthday. It's the 27th. I was supposed to go to Dallas for my birthday, but things ended up happening. We got the NABJ convention coming up too in July. So it was just like not really the best timing for it. So Dallas kind of got put on hold. Still want to make it down there at some point. It was between Houston or Dallas. So obviously, of course, if y'all got some recommendations, shoot it my way. But the main thing, bro, I just wanted to tell y'all about the concert. I hope your week has been good too. Don't forget, this is the recovery time. So yeah, you hear me sipping tea and all of that. I promise I'm not trying to like be directly in the mic. But no, seriously. Yeah, I hope your week has been good too, bro. Just, keep seeing the positive things and try and be positive. But look, man, let's get back to sports. I don't want to take too much time up, but like I said, this isn't an everyday type of thing. This isn't an every week type of thing. You don't get these episodes often. Or not episodes, but you don't get this section often. So look, man, let's jump into some sports news. Let's do it. All right, let's get into it, man. News for the run. The Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence reached an agreement on a 5-year, $275 million extension. This includes $200 million guaranteed, and now Trevor Lawrence is tied with Joe Burrow as the highest paid quarterback on a per year basis. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is really worth all of that. Now, let's be honest. Anyway, look, the Atlanta Falcons will forfeit a 5th round pick in the 2025 draft, and they'll also take a fine of $250,000 for tampering with Kirk Cousins. Now, Peyton Manning, he just dropped his trailer to his new Netflix docuseries called Receiver. It's a spinoff of the popular documentary named Quarterback that was also produced by Peyton Manning. But this one has a focus on wide receivers in the NFL. So some guys you can expect to see in this documentary: Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and a tight end, George Kittle. So you can start watching this documentary on Netflix starting July 10th. I'm definitely going to tune into that. Anyway, man, some college news going on with the sports here. The Big 12 Conference is exploring the ideal of selling its naming rights to a title sponsor. So what this means is the Big 12 Conference would no longer be named the Big 12. It could potentially be the All-State 12 Conference, depending on if the conference finalized the deal with All-State or even another sponsor. So this is going to be interesting, because how weird would it be saying, oh, he committed to a team in the All-State 12 Conference? I never would have imagined that would have been the case. But I mean, hey, things change and rearrange as they go on. But, we all adjust that at some point. And I guess the NCAA is looking at this too. But there was something I read also. I didn't put it in the news. There was something I read that the Big 12 Conference and smaller conferences are looking to do this to make up for the compensation and the loss of certain teams moving to the SEC and the Big 10, which makes total sense. Makes perfect sense, because you lose some big money makers that went to the Big 10. USC, Oregon, UCLA was another as well. So you lose some heavy hitters. You lose some heavy hitters out of these different conferences. So it only makes sense. Anyway, look, man, the Boston Celtics, they're up on the Dallas Mavericks right now, 3-0 in the finals. And I can't lie and tell you that I'm proud of it, and I'm happy that this is going on in the NBA finals. But I'd be a damn lie if I sat here and told you that the Celtics weren't playing great basketball. So game 1 and game 2, I couldn't tell if the Celtics were just dominant or if the Mavs were just playing bad. At this point, I hate to admit it, but the Celtics, they've been on a dominant postseason run. And truthfully, this has been a dominant season for the Boston Celtics. They were number one in the East all year by far. It wasn't even another team challenging them to be number one in the Eastern Conference. But one thing in the playoffs that I've noticed is it wasn't always pretty in the games that they played, which is why in the past I said, hey, the Celtics, they might be frauds and they're fraudulent, all of that stuff. It was crazy. I stood on business, and that's what I'm still saying. I still say, watching those games early on in the playoffs, the Celtics did not look like the best team out of all the teams in the playoffs, especially those Western Conference teams. But they know how to close out games, and they've won these ball games time after time, which obviously helped them out, and it's still helping them out. And now I'm really realizing that they are dominant on both sides of the ball, man. They only lost 2 games this entire playoffs. They're 16-2 as of right now. Potentially can go 17-2 in the entire playoffs. Offensively, they're dominant. Defensively, they're dominant. They were number one all season, and I'm damn sure they're number one in the postseason on defense in the Eastern Conference and including the Western Conference. Celtics have been on a roll, bro. And I know many of us don't like it, but you got to be honest. They've been balling. It's hard to stop their offense when you got so many guys who can penetrate to the rim and get to the rim with ease. Jason Tatum, obviously. Jaylen Brown, obviously can get to the rim. But the big factors here is Derrick Brown and Jrue Holiday. Those 2 guys playing the way they have on the offensive end, getting to the cup and helping get other guys open just makes them so damn hard to guard. Because you try and guard Derrick White and he flying past you, you find Jason Tatum for an open 3. You find Al Horford for an open 3. You find Jaylen Brown for an open 3. Jrue Holiday. Everybody on the court can shoot. Everybody on the Celtics can shoot if they're on the floor. And that's what's really, really helping them on the offensive end. Even if they're not making their threes, they can still score on you because they can get to the cup with ease. And scoring is really what's hurting the Dallas Mavericks right now. Mavericks cannot hang with the Boston Celtics when it comes to scoring. They can't hang with the starters. They can't hang with the bench. And the Mavericks damn sure don't have enough support coming off the bench to hang with the Celtics when they bring in that second unit or guys from the second unit, because they don't even have a true full second unit. The starters can barely even hang. So it's insane, like to sit here and discredit the Celtics in a way on things they've been doing phenomenally. Because they play good defense also, obviously. They're maintaining. They got Kyrie struggling, bro. Kyrie ain't going to win a damn game. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with him. He like 0-14 against the Celtics since he left. So that's just bad, bro. It's bad. But the Celtics have been playing great, man. They switch off of them. They rotate on defense. And I think you just got to admit, bro, the Celtics are really that good right now. They're that good. The only problem I have with this series is the criticism on Luka Doncic. That's the only thing I have about this series here is because people are like, oh, it's Luka's fault. It's Luka Doncic's fault is why the Dallas Mavericks are losing this series. He doesn't play enough defense. He keeps crying to the ref. And yes, bro, while all of that stuff is true, he is crying a little too much to the referees. And he is, fouling out, doing all the crazy stuff like that. And also, the main thing is obviously defense. He's getting blown by a lot on defense. There was a stat, I think in game 2, he got blown by 14 times. And it was ridiculous. That stuff is very, very valid. It's all true. But at the end of the day, bro, the Dallas Mavericks wouldn't even be close to winning any game if it wasn't for Luka Doncic. Because I'm witnessing him as carrying his team on his back. On one knee and one shoulder and bad hips, bad legs. He's been fighting through injuries. Have you seen the list of injuries that Luka Doncic has? Still playing and still dominating? He could have easily sat out. He could have easily deflected the offense to Kyrie Irving and told him, I can't score right now. But because he hasn't, he's still been helping the Dallas Mavericks stay in these games. So I get all the defensive stuff. Yeah, I get it. He's crying a lot. He's getting blown by. But damn it, that's not his fault. He's injured. And last time I checked, defense was a team sport, right? You got to have great team defense. Because no matter who you have, who's a good island defender, He can't guard all 5 players if they all can get to the rim, because all 5 players on the Celtics can get to the rim. Luka can't do anything about that. And if he get blown by, where's the rotation? Where's guys helping? Where's guys helping Luka out? Where's the guys helping Luka out on the defensive end? And where the hell is guys helping Luka out on the offensive end? It took Kyrie Irving 3 games to finally have one good game. 2 games, really. It took him 2 games to have one good game. And they still wasn't enough because the Celtics just outscored the Dallas Mavericks each time. And above all, the Mavericks are losing this series because they cannot hang with the Celtics in the scoring total. That's why they're losing. The starters can't hang with the Celtics starters. The Mavericks bench can't hang with the Celtics starters. The Mavericks bench can't hang with the Celtics bench. The Mavericks starters can't even hang with the Celtics bench. They're a good team. You got to give credit where it's due. And right now, Celtics definitely deserve the credit. This has been a dominant postseason and a dominant finals run for them. And it's a well-deserved championship. I always say, I would be shocked, first and foremost. I would be shocked if Mavs came back from 0-3. It's never been done in NBA history, and I doubt it starts now. But I always say I'm a firm believer that the better team will win. And right now, in this finals, what I've seen, the better team finished out this game, or these games, and the better team is finishing out this series. That's just what I'm noticing, and congratulations to the Boston Celtics. I'm saying that with a crying Therese face right now. Congratulations. I'm saying it crying right now because I do not want the Celtics to win, and I don't want the Celtics to win, but I got to give credit where it's due, bro. Got to give credit where it's due, man. Anyway, look, man, that was a dominant performance by them. I'm happy, the finals. It was a great season for the NBA. We're going to end up doing a recap or something, too, about, just fun moments in the NBA season. But WNBA season is in full effect right now. So we'll probably start covering a little bit more on that. MLB season is creeping up on the All-Star break, so speak a little bit more about that. NHL finals is happening right now. Game 3 is actually on now. But look, I'm going to leave y'all with this, man. Want to leave y'all on a positive note here. And the positive note I have for you today, just kind of coming off the dome, of course, I'm going to just say this. Things change and rearrange, but so do I. You might bend a little bit, you might break a little bit, but as long as you keep going, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And I want to add to that, and I just want to say, don't let your mind stop being creative. All right? Don't let your mind stop being creative. It's funny to me because I always say something. I'll start the positive note with like one thing and then go in a completely different direction. But it's mainly because I want it to be genuine. So that's why. But I still mean it. Like, you might bend a little bit, you might break a little bit, but keep going, of course. But above all, bro, you gotta stay in it, and you gotta keep your creative juices flowing no matter what you do, no matter if it's important in your job, if it's not important in your job. They say you only die when you stop living. And part of living, I'm just a firm believer that is creating. And that's just creating images in your head, creating thoughts, creating some sort of positive energy to spread into this world, whether it be in a sport, whether it be in a song, whether it be just speaking with people on a daily basis, random people just doing your job, simple tasks, but just carrying that positive energy with you. So I want to transfer some positive energy over to you guys, man. If you're here and you're listening and you made it this far, I want to go ahead and shed some positive energy out there for everybody who's listening, bro. Go ahead, spread some love, spread some joy, and just carry that joy with you and spread it to someone else. Use your creative mind. Somebody may not get the joke, but I guarantee you somebody else will. Somebody may get the joke, somebody gonna laugh at it, whatever. Just keep your mind creative and spread some positivity wherever you are, bro. None of that stuff correlated, but whatever, bro. It's just the thoughts that I have right now, so who cares, bro? Who cares about trying to be perfect every single time? It's just, hey, that's unrealistic, truth be told. You can strive for the best, but nobody will ever be 100% perfect. I can get on here and preach all damn day, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm about to get out of here. It's Thursday, Friday. What is it, Friday? Man, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Enjoy the weekend. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Like I said, we're transferring positive energy here, so we got to up the vibe a little bit, especially if you made it all the way here, man. Enjoy your weekend. Have some great time. Safe travels for everybody. I'm about to be traveling myself. Send me some music, whatever. Go follow me on IG at The Run Podcast. Follow my personal as well. I am Manny Wilson. All right, man, I'm done, bro. I'm done. All right, I'll see y'all later on next week, and so on, and so on, and so on.